We're going to start here. The Mournland. So a wall of dead gray mist that surrounds the remnants of Sire. Beyond the mist lie a land twisted by magic, a wound that will not heal. The blasted land is strangely transformed. In some places, the ground is fused into jagged glass. In others, it is cracked and burned. Broken bodies of soldiers from various sides litter the landscape. Soldiers whose dead bodies refuse to decompose. The Mournland is a vast, open grave. In that horrific landscape, vile magical effects linger, and monsters mutate into even more foul and horrible creatures. Magical effects continue to rain upon the land as storms that never dissipate. Stories speak of living spells, war magic that has taken physical form, sentient fireballs, and vile cloud kills that endlessly search for new victims. And angry ghosts continue to fight their final battles. The only thing predictable about the Mournland is that nothing is predictable. Any sort of monster or horror could lurk within its borders, and yet it also holds the wealth and treasures of an entire nation, along with the secrets of House Cannith and everything else that was left behind. It's dangerous, it's mysterious, but it's also a dungeon the size of a nation, with opportunities for those brave enough to enter the mists. What caused the mourning? People in Eberron have many theories about the cause. There are things that are called dragon marks. It's like a halfling healer touches a dying man. The mark on her forehead blazes with blue fire as his wounds close and vanish. A half-orc bounty hunter reaches out with the power of his mark to find his prey. A human artificer touches a creation forge and the symbol on her hand flares as the eldritch machine rumbles to life. Each of these people possess a dragon mark, a symbol etched on the skin in colors more vivid than any tattoo, magical power made flesh. The dragon mark enhances the user's ability to perform certain tasks. An example, the mark of making guides the hands of the smith. The mark of shadows helps its bearer avoid enemies. You can't buy or choose to develop a dragon mark. They're tied to bloodlines within specific species. The families that carry the marks join together to form the dragon-marked houses. Over the centuries, the houses have used their gifts to establish powerful monopolies. The reputations of the houses have sort of dissipated and dissolved. That's code for the DM doesn't want to deal with all that and doesn't want to bore the group with interpersonal political conflicts. As the game progresses, you're going to explore more and more and more of the map as time goes on. But for now, you're going to start right here in a city called Windshire, which is the home of Windshire University, which is an up-and-coming college that stands apart from its most immediate rival, Arcanix, because where Arcanix University is focused solely upon magic, Windshire University focuses on all of the classes. It's the go big or go home philosophy when it comes to education. Where we are going to begin, we're going to do introductions for each of you, and it's going to be like done in two parts. So part one is going to be your first experience in coming to campus. So it's basically move-in weekend, we'll call it. Andrew, you're going to be first. Welcome to Windshire University. You're dropped off at the front entrance to the grounds of the school. Let me find a picture. You are dropped off right here in the front of the school. So you see before you the small modest houses on either side and towers going into this grand entryway into a significantly large walled-in campus. As you exit the magically motorized stagecoach, you are greeted by one of the campus volunteers. And this volunteer approaches and says, "Hi, my name is Miley Cyrodiil. I'm a TA in the Bard School, and I'm a volunteer for Move-In Weekend. Do you have any bags?"
Just my camera bag and, what I wear on my back. Can you tell me where the library is?
Oh yeah, sure. It's inside. I can take you there. we can let's get these bags to your dorm first. And then she pulls a like a smart stone from her pocket. You see her just kind of go and send a quick message and put it back in her pocket. And she says, "Okay, I just sent a message to our campus staff. They'll be here in 2 shakes to get your bags." And she goes like she gets real animated. She goes, and she swings around a stringed instrument from her back, and she proceeds to play a tune. She's like, it's like, "Do you like my bass guitar? I invented it myself. It also has built-in speaker. Check it out." She flicks a switch, and then it's just this distorted noise. And she starts singing a song about and telling, which is where it's basically like, "Welcome to the W, where you will mold your future." And then she's kind of like stumbling, like stuttering her words after that. I say, it's a work in progress. I'm still working on it, but you get the gist.
Oh yeah, you invented that?
I sure did.
So you're mechanically inclined then?
I mean, I dabble a little when it comes to musical instruments. And as she finishes, you see 2 gnomes approach, and they have in between them, they have what appears to be like a floating flatbed cart. And they each have a 1-piece work suit on. And one comes up and takes your camera bag and puts it on the cart. The other one comes up next to you and just kind of holds his hand out. Backpack.
Shake his hand. Oh.
Backpack?
Sure. I'll slide that off and hand it to him.
Takes it, puts it, gives you a thumbs up, puts it over on the cart, and then both of them take off. Take off with your stuff on the cart, and then Miley starts talking to you. Hey,
follow it like half tentatively. That's my most important thing in the world to me.
It's okay. Your stuff's safe with us. It'll get where it needs to go. Miley says, so there'll be a real deal tour after you've settled in. You go with your fellow roommates. Until then, though, why don't I give you a little bit of the lowdown on some of the things around here? She gives a big smile, and she takes her instrument and flings it back around on her back and walks alongside you and says, "Come on, let's go," and tries to walk you into the entrance. Care to come along?
Sure. I keep muting myself because of the dog.
Oh, no worries. So, she walks with you, and she's like,
"So your TA is second year, third?"
Yeah, so I'm third year. I'd be in my 4th, but I had a little bit too much fun. It's worth it. This place is great. Over here, you see, we got these 2. So the houses that we're walking by right now, these things are it's the faculty houses. So that's where like all of our faculty lives just outside the campus. So like it's real easy to meet with them and stuff off hours and everything. They're pretty cool. Pretty wild group. They're all over the place. And you see up, and she keeps walking you further. She's like, "You see here, we got these are these towers, and there's like crazy weapons and stuff on top that they shoot. And they make sure anything that's anything that shouldn't be in the vicinity, they have defenses to protect us. So it's kind of cool. We don't ever have to worry about getting attacked. Because it's crazy
we're
around
coming
here.
Home late and a little bit drunk, we have to worry about the tower defense.
No, you're good. You're good. No worries. It's more for airborne threats, larger scale stuff. There's some on foot security that kind of hangs around, and then as soon as she goes through these 2 doors, on the other side of the doors, you see a security guard, just like kind of looking fairly plain clothed, and just kind of looks at both of you, and then Miley kind of gives him a thumbs up and a wink, like does like this, and he just nods at her. So she walks you in. It's like, yeah. There's some. She's like, later on, I'll show you. There's some really cool places you can hide out and grab a drink after hours and stuff. I mean, if you're old enough, and if you're not old enough, then there's other places we can go where they don't even care how old you are. Since she takes you into this building here, And she says, all right, well, here's your dorm. Feel free to make yourself at home, and the tour will be in a couple of hours. Your tour guide will come get you later.
Was that 9? Which one was that?
Yeah, building 9, this guy right in the center.
All right.
And he said, this is the first year dorms. It's like, feel free to make yourself at home. The tour will be in a couple hours. Your tour guide will come get you later. She reaches out her hand and gives this really complicated handshake fist bump thing. She's like, your hand's just sort of like flopping along with it. It says, all right, smell you later. And she leaves. And as you turn towards the door of the dorm room, you see that your stuff is sitting on the floor right next to your door. So that's where we're going to pause for you. And we're going to go to the next person, which is going to be Emily.
All right.
Emily, welcome to Windshire University. Your character gets shuttled up in a taxi coach that pulls up to the front entrance of the grounds. Your mom gets out of the taxi coach with you. Now, I know, honey, that you just want to go gallivanting off and see the world, that you want to discover and learn about different creatures across our lands, but you know the deal. You need to get your degree first. You know that your father and I do not approve of your concentration in your major.
I know, Mom.
Well, I mean, I should say your father hates it, but I love you, so I still support you.
And I appreciate that. But, I will keep that in mind. I won't forget our deal. Did you really have to come with me to drop me off?
Well, but I love you. I wanted to see the school in person.
Oh, fine.
She gets a little tear in her eye. A little tear in her eye. And she's like,
but I'm growing up, Mom. It's time for me to, become an adult and really come into my own. And
she's like, and she wipes her tears away. And she just kind of like stops. She just ignores what you're saying. She's like, oh, this school is so much more affordable than our Canix. She looks around at the lively campus. They're becoming a serious contender. So I think we made the right choice for you. And she gives you a big hug. And she said, don't forget what we told you, though. You stay away from the tieflings. They're bad news.
Okay, Mom, I will. I promise.
And as she says this, a campus a volunteer comes up and says, hi, my name is Lynn Oakleaf. I'm a teaching assistant in the School of Martial Disciplines, and I'm here to greet you and take you to your dorm. You see before you a very fit fighter type of female, with denim pants, and a loose fitting shirt, oversized. She says, oh, is this your mom? Is she coming in too? And your mom's like, no. She trails off and starts to get choked up. She's like, I don't think I'd come in without turning into a blubbering mess. And she starts crying and gives you a really, really awkwardly long hug.
I just pat her on the back and I'm like, I'll send you a message as soon as I settle in. Okay. I'll let you know.
And Lynn Oakleaf is just like with this look, like this understanding look on her face. And then your mom goes, here, honey, I got this for you. She hands you a brand new Smart Stone.
Yes.
It's like, I was able to unload some of the fancier train mounts that we had in the stable, and I used the money to get you this.
Aww.
I don't want you to feel left out with any of the other kids going here.
Thanks, Mom.
She's like, well, I'm gonna go. I wish you the best of luck. I'll see you on Parents' Weekend.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I love you. And then she just gives you a really quick hug and then runs and gets into the taxi coach really fast and just leaves. And you see through the glass. She's like with the tissue. She's like waving goodbye to you. And then Lynn says, well, all right. That wasn't too bad. Sometimes parents can be quite the handful and won't leave their kids. We've had to drag a few out of here.
I'm glad she wasn't the worst. But yeah, let's do this. I'm so excited. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, that's nice to meet you. And we'll just assume that because of what your character's background is going to be, that you've got you've got like a steamer trunk, you've got like a couple suitcases, you got some shit that you're bringing with you.
I've got a cat.
You never know. Yeah, you never know what you might need when you're in school.
Exactly.
And so she takes a smart stone from her pocket, and then before she can even do anything on it, two gnomes in one-piece suits come up from out of nowhere with a hovering flatbed cart, take your bags and boxes, and she's like, "Damn, guys, you on your game today?" It's like, okay, well, let's get you to your dorm so you can get settled in before the tour.
All right.
Then she takes you and points out some sites along the way and tells you about how the the faculty, all of the faculty, including herself, we live right outside the campus walls, so we're easily available for anything and everything you may need, even after hours, as long as you can work within our schedules. And so as you approach, then she's like, okay, well, let me take you to your dorm, which takes you into number 9. Takes you up to your door, and you see that your stuff's next to the door, and one gnome standing there, and it's like looking up at you. And it's like, help with big bag, and he's like holding one of the handles on the steamer trunk.
Yeah. She goes and grabs the other handle,
and you go into your room with the gnome helping you bring your heavier stuff in, and then Lynn's like, oh well, we'll see you later. You take care now.
Bye. Thank you.
She walks out. And now we're going to go on to Chad. Chad, welcome to Windshire University. Your character comes up in a horse-drawn cart, and you sit in the back of the cart with a couple of bags and a bunch of poorly cut gems and some freshly mined copper. Your father is driving the cart. Whoa! He yells as he yanks on the reins. Take it down a couple notches, lassie. He chuckles as he gets the cart to stop, and he jumps off. Your father, the burly half-orc, looks at you smiling. Well, boy, you've really made something of yourself. First of our family to get to school. You sure are the smart one of the family, me boy. Grabs both your bags with one hand as you get out of the cart. And as you get out of the cart, and he looks around. Oh, boy, look at this place. It's quite fancy. You're going to make your nerdy brain so much bigger, my son. Slaps you on the back hard, beaming with pride as he stands looking around a campus volunteer approaches. These two voices are going to kill me. So the volunteer comes up, he approaches you. Well, hey there, new student. My name is Golden Bear. I'm a TA at the Barbarian School, ushering the newbies in for move-in weekend. Do you need any help with your bags there?
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. No, I don't think I need much help with my bags.
I was just going to say, I think you seem to have it covered.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I could use some help. If you want to take that bag, and I'll take this one. This is a fancy place.
He goes over to your dad and goes to take one of the bags that your dad's holding. Your dad's like, no, I got it. I don't need any help. Skogie, why would you say something like that? I don't need any help.
Well, it's a fancy place. I'm going to have to do things here that to fit in. Maybe it's their custom. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't.
I understand that, but hell, I want to see this place. This place looks sweet. He's like, let's get going, and he takes one bag, puts it over one shoulder, puts his arm around you, around the other arm around you, with the bag in his hand, and he's just forcing you to walk in with him. And tells Golden Bear, he's like, why don't you get a move on and catch up here? Tell us what we're seeing. So Golden Bear's like, the big sigh. It's like, here you can see the barns, bookstore, and souvenir shop. Waves his hand back and forth, showing quickly. Here are the 2 security towers that help keep our students protected from any riffraff just walking in here. And he glances at your dad, and after he says riffraff. Although we would like to think that the intruder would be in more trouble than the student. Know what I mean? You know what I mean, Dad? And he's just kind of like, sure do. And then he goes, all right, here you go. I'll give you and your dad a moment to say your goodbyes. And he walks away. And your dad just stands there and kind of looks at you. He puts his hands up on your shoulders. He's really hard on your shoulders. And he's like, he's got a tear welling up in one of his eyes. Like, you can do this, boy. I believe in you. Here, take these so you can have some walking around money. And he hands you a pouch, and in the pouch is 200 gold.
Oh, Dad. Yeah, this is too much. You've already brought me this far. Surely you and Mom could use that money better.
Don't worry about it. I made a little extra money on the side doing a couple quick jobs. Nothing bad. He says this spending coin should get you through your first year, and I'll see you on Parents' Weekend, my boy.
I'll make you proud, Dad, and I'll bring home some honor to the house.
And he leans in, and gives you like a one-armed hug. Use the other hand and pat you on the back really hard, and then he lets you go, and you're outside your dormitory room or dormitory building, and he walks by Golden Bear, and then he's like, ha, ha, and he shakes his hand, and then you watch as they have this contest where they're seeing who can shake each other's hand harder. You see Golden Bear, his arm gets all like veins popping out of his arm, and he's shakes his hand really hard and squeezing it, and your dad's like, oh, take it easy there, Big Bear. And he's like, ha, ha, ha. And then he just waves him off, and then he waves goodbye to you as he leaves. And then and Golden Bear says, well, go on in and get settled, and someone will come by and take you on the real tour later. And welcome to the first day of the biggest adventure of your life.
It seems to be. Thank you.
He gives you a little fist bump and walks away. Jonathan, your character rides up to the school by yourself in a taxi coach. As you approach the school grounds, the coach comes to a stop, and you exit. You look around and marvel at how bright and energetic everything looks. You get the feeling that there's no better place you could be right now. As you go to the back of the coach and take your bags out, someone approaches you. Well, hello, new student. And a tall, rotund man comes up to you and shakes your hand. I am Professor Seamus Hardedge. I'm a teacher at the healing school in the war division. You know what that means?
What does that mean, Professor? Sir?
I take young ones and I make them into adult war clerics. And he gets this big smile on his face. I work quite hard at my job, and I must say I'm quite good at it. Well, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I kind of stumble over my words for a minute and just go, I came here to train. It's nice to meet you.
And he's like, as you're telling him this, he's like taking a smartphone out of his pocket and sending a message and looking at you, and he nods and he puts his, he's like, and it's very nice to meet you too. So you see, after he sends a message and he says that, you see a gnome come up with a hovering flatbed cart, one-piece suit, and the gnome grabs your bags, puts them on the cart.
Be very careful with those. I could just take them. You don't have to carry them for that.
The gnome goes, I take bags safe. No problem. Fragile?
Just careful. Yeah, not fragile, but they shouldn't be left out. Yeah.
Magic. And then he takes the cart, just goes away with the cart. And then he starts to go his normal pace, and then he waits for a second. He looks behind, he's like, magic. And then he goes a little slower as he's taking the cart with your stuff. It's like, well, and Seamus goes, well, Greg, you're on top of your game today. Nice job. And he laughs as the gnome looks back and gives him a dirty look. He says, okay, young one, let me get you to your dorm in one piece, and then you can go on your fancy tour later. And he walks you through the front gate of the university and points things out along the way until you're eventually at your dorm. Says, all right, well, get unpacked, get yourself settled in, and you'll get picked up for your tour in no time.
The entire time he's covering me around, I am pulling the hat down over my head. I'm checking behind me, nervously looking over my shoulder. If I see any movement, I'm a little jumpy the entire time.
Okay, good day to you. And if you outside where I showed you the faculty houses, there is a medical building there. If you need to see the nurse about your shakes, they can help you.
No, I'm not shaking.
Okay.
No,
All right.
It's nothing. They don't have to examine me. No.
It's okay to be nervous. Have a good day. And he walks and he leaves. So Chris, now we are up to you. You pull up and you arrive first thing in the morning. You get the impression that you're the first one to arrive. You pull up in a taxi coach, and as you exit, your driver offers to help you with your bags. You solemnly shake your head no and get out of the coach. You get into the trunk area and you pull out your 2 big bags and 1 small one. You notice that there is another smaller bag in the trunk that's not yours.
Hey, boss, whose other bag is this? I don't remember riding with anybody else.
The driver's like, oh, man, that must have been a previous customer that left that there.
You think maybe I should take it and bring it into Lost and Found or something?
Why don't you roll persuasion?
Why don't I do that? Making me roll. Nobody else was rolling.
First roll.
I know. Everybody's getting a different intro experience.
It's all good. You said persuasion. That is a 22.
That sounded like persuasion to me. He says, yeah, you know what? That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, once I get the tour of the place, figure out my footings, find out, somebody's got to know where Lost and Found is, or anything like that. We'll get it to its rightful owner.
Indeed. And I just sent you in a message in Zoom of what's in the bag.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Be sure to, as anytime there's any mention of like money, anything like that, just make sure you guys each keep track and write down your stuff, because money will matter in some capacity. Okay, so you take that bag with you, and then the driver says, "Hey, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it."
Hey, no problem. Thank you so much for the ride. I really appreciate it.
And hey, anytime. Thanks for the great tip. And he pulls away. As you stand there looking around at your surroundings, you're blown away by what you see, and you're eager to enter and begin your studies. As you walk towards the entrance, struggling with your bags, you see someone walking briskly towards you, and you see some like humanoid-ish kind of figure come up to you. Oh, wow. You are early. It's nice to meet you. My name's Weasel. I'm an intern at the Thieves Co-op.
Is that right?
Probably makes sense, yeah.
No, that does. I guess so.
And he's like wiping. He's got these like long, like it's not like cool emo punk bangs. It's more like the whole like, I just don't give a shit how long my hair grows kind of vibe going on. He's like brushing his bangs out of his face. And he's like, don't worry. We're forbidden from stealing from the students here. He kind of chuckles. He kind of laughs a little. Can I help you with your bags?
It's funny that you should lead with that and then ask for help.
And then
ask to help. I think maybe I'll take it on my own.
And then out of nowhere, another person comes up, and this is very, very, very slender woman, and she comes up. She's like, "Oh, hello there, hello. I wasn't expecting anyone so early. My name is Shog Tho. I'm the sensei of the martial discipline school, and I am of the monk studies."
Oh, great!
And she extends her hand for a handshake.
I got my hands full, so I just kind of like do like a little small handshake where like basically the tip of my fingers because I got bags in my hands.
Yeah. She smiles at you genuinely, but then she looks at Weasel. Well, hello, Weasel. I did not realize that you were on the volunteers list to welcome the students today. And she kind of gives you like a sideways glance, like he's not here for that. And Weasel's like, oh yeah. Oh, and he pulls out this like beat up Smart Stone out of his pocket, and he looks at it. You know, my shift isn't until 1 o'clock today. My bad. It's like, hey, kid, I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'm sure I hope to see you around, Weasel.
And he just walks away.
I turn to Shag though. I'm not sure. I hope to see him around though.
It's like, yes, you didn't need that. There was no way that was going to end in a positive manner.
Oh, I guess it's probably my fault. I was just so excited to get to school. I just had to get here early. I knew I probably should have come in with the rest of the students.
I mean, early bird gets the worm. So the saying goes, I think.
Yeah, but I found that there's, plenty of worms throughout the day.
That is true. They do come out at different times.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Yeah, she says, we're very careful here at Windshire. We're very careful with the Thieves Co-op because it's not directly supported by the school. It's actually run through donations from the wealthy benefactors that they hire the thieves for their own personal use. She looks at you curiously a little bit. She's like, I know that may seem strange that a prestigious university like ours would have a school of thieves, but our curriculum, faculty, and overall approach to education in general is quite unique. So why would this be any different? We remove our liability simply by not funding the co-op.
I mean, that easy. It seems like legally speaking, I guess that makes sense, but I'm not sure if maybe you don't have a law school here. I don't know how well that works. But I mean, I guess
we have some good contract law. We have some good contract law on our staff that really, I guess, really helps us out.
It's good to know. I guess the school keeps its hands clean or whatever. But I don't know how much into the Thieves Guild. I mean, it's not. Do I have to take it as like an elective? Is that like a core curriculum thing? Do I have to go there? Or, I mean, if they're not part of the school, it's like I don't have to take anything there, right?
To be honest, I'm not sure if one of there may be an elective that's out of the co-op, but generally speaking, that only those that choose to major down that path would be required to go there.
Oh, thank goodness. I mean, I know I haven't talked to my counselor yet to figure out my classes. So
yeah, they have a pretty light load as far as responsibilities early on for the first years, especially. I mean, for obvious reasons, right?
Sure.
We're trying to run a reputable university here, after all. She reaches out a hand to offer to take one of your bags. May I?
I offer her the one small bag that I came with.
Okay. Yeah, she takes that. She's just it's super light. She just kind of flings it over her shoulder and she motions to free to follow her. And then she walks you through and points out the towers and the defense towers and how safe the school is, and sharing with you the details of our curriculum. Our curriculum is very advanced. We have very high security here to protect our people, because ever since after the morning, things just haven't been the same.
Yeah, would that be like magic and more traditional means of security?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we have the best. We have the best as far as with artificer built technologies, magic, and just a good old brute force.
So top of the line and big old muscle. I love it.
So she drops you off at your dorm building. She said, "This is the same building for all the first years. Here's your room, and feel free to go in and get settled. And someone will be by to pick you up later for your tour." And
real quick, if there was like an office, if I say found something that was kind of unclaimed, where can I go to give that? Who should I give that to?
Oh, you'll actually want to go. There's a whole nother section in one of the faculty home areas. There's actually some administrative, and in there's like lost and found and things of that nature.
Oh, wonderful! I'm sure I got a tour coming up, right? I'm sure I'll catch it.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for your help, Shog. Though I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll have a great time here at the Windshire University.
Absolutely, and I hope you get everything out of it that you could ever want.
Oh, I plan to.
And she bows slightly and walks away. And now we go to Sean. Welcome to Windshire University. You are the last new student to arrive. As you pull up riding in the back of a horse-driven cart, you're just looking around in amazement at everything you are seeing. You feel overwhelmed with excitement and hope for your future as the cart stops and you get out with your bags. Your mother has driven the cart that brought you. She gets out of the cart and comes over to you to chat. "I am so proud of you. You have worked so hard to get here. I knew you could do it. She gives you a big hug. Your dad and I got this for you. And hands you a small box with a bow on it. Open it.
Thanks, Ma. I can't believe you got away from the shop for the day to bring me here. I mean, it was a long trip, and I know how busy you and Dad get. What could be in here?
When you open it and you look inside, you see 25 gold and a brand new smart stone. And your mom looks at you with some tears in her eyes. She says, "You deserve this. And if we could do more, we could. At least your tuition is paid and you'll have no debts."
Yeah, thank you. I know how long it must have taken you to put this together, Ma. I really, really appreciate it. Can you believe this place? It's nothing at all like home.
Oh, I know. It's crazy here. It's so different. It's so unique. And as she's just looking around and on, like just kind of got her hand on your shoulder, and she's kind of looking, and she's just like beaming with pride. You see this guy comes up to you, and he kind of looks like how do I explain it? The suit that the penguin wears. It's like so it's got like long tails and stuff, right? And he's like,
yeah.
So he looks like very flamboyant, but yet the colors are very tame, if that makes sense. So he's like, he's got a really crazy suit with tails and all this shit going on, but it's like, but it's very muted colors. Hello there, you lucky student. How excited are you? My name is Jarvish.
Jarvish. Sorry, sir.
He's like, and this is my familiar, Torrid. And Torrid's like a little duck, like a duck and a puffin, kind of mixed together.
I bend down and say, "Oh, it's nice to meet you, Torrid. Pleasure's mine."
And Torrid just he's just kind of bopping back and forth. He's like he's just excited. I'm a teaching student at the School of Magic. You cast a spell on your bags and they start to float.
Nice.
I don't know. Why don't we get you to your dorm?
Yeah.
And he's like, Ma, you want to come? And she said, no, I best not. I need to get back. It's quite the travel by cart, and it will make me less sad if I just leave. And she looks at you with tears in her eyes, tussles your hair, and I love you, my dear. And I just know you're going to do amazingly. And
I'll be in touch.
She gives you a big hug. Says, we put the store number in the smart stone.
Thank you.
It says, be whatever you want to be, and gives you one more hug, and then gets in the cart and rides off. Jarvis
I say, Mr. Jarvis, do you mind if I think I might have something for your familiar here? And I start going through all my jacket pockets and my vest pockets, and eventually I come out with a piece of crusty bread. I'm like, do you mind if I feed him?
As soon as you hold it out, you don't even get the sentence. You mind if I feed hit? As you go to hit the thing, it just Torrid just goes, flies up and grabs onto the bread and just starts gnawing on it while it's hanging in your hand. It's
wow, that's great.
And he's just kind of shaking as he's eating it, and he's so excited. It's like, all right, let's go. We got to get you to your dorm without haste. The tour is starting shortly. And he's points out some things really quick. These are fancy security towers. It's like the first year dorm building divides up the different schools and the different majors dorms. So once you get out of this first year dorm, you go to where your major's going to be. So your school's on this side, and the way you live is on this side.
Cool.
Pretty organized. And then he's like, "All right, I gotta go." And then it's actually my bad. It's actually Torrid is actually a goose. That's my fault. So
okay.
Yeah. So which then makes sense because So Torrid, your bags stop floating. They drop onto the floor, and Torrid goes and it honks at you a couple times, but not in an aggressive way, just in a happy to see you, and then just kind of starts to waddle and walk next to Jarvish as they leave. So you are all officially in your dorm. You were the last one to arrive chronologically. Sean, your character. So now we are going to go into we're going to go into part 2 of the introduction, and then we'll be good. So as y'all take the time to settle in, you can hear other new students like in like the common areas of the dorms, chatting, laughing, and yelling, and everybody seems to be, they seem to be having a lot of fun, chatting amongst each other. You see that a couple of them are like kind of looking out at, you're all getting the opportunity to start to see each other for the first time. Your dorms look like this. So there's a first floor and a second floor of dormitory areas. So many of you, everybody pretty much has, I think there's some single rooms, but a lot of you actually have roommates. So these dormitory, the rooms, there are bathrooms outside of the dormitory rooms. The dormitory rooms are co-ed. So in one room is going to be Jonathan, your character, Sean, your character, and Andrew, your character. And the 3 of you are going to be roommates. Okay. So you all kind of see each other for the first time in your dorm room. And then in another dorm room, we find, so Chris, your character, and Emily and Chad, your character, you are all sharing a dorm together. If you want to take a moment to like interact with each other before we start the next section.
Well, I guess I'll start. My name is Jack. I'm here on a Blazeball scholarship. Who knew they gave them out? I don't really see it as my future, but I do kind of see it as like my way in, to further educate myself. And I'm still undecided right now. I'm just kind of figuring out my life. And, here I am. And Jack himself is just brown-haired, brown-eyed, just a regular-looking dude. He's got like a nice, fresh Windshire University, colors on. Like it seems like he just bought them right before the right before the tour. Made a quick stop at the shop, or maybe picked one out outside of town. He's got the new colors on. But other than that, yeah, that's Jack. So yeah, nice to meet you guys. And I guess we're rooming. I wasn't expecting that, but I think we'll all be fine. And he starts unpacking his 2 big bags, and he puts his 2 little bags under his bed.
Yeah. So Skogar, I'm sorry. Well, nice to meet you, Jack. Nice to meet you, Jack. My name's Skogar. Which side of the room is yours? Is this where I'm supposed to be?
I'm sorry. I guess I just started unpacking right here. I just I'm sorry. That's my fault. I didn't ask where you wanted to sit. It like I just chose this bed randomly. If you want this bed, I'll gladly move.
No, this bed over here is fine. And then this tall, pale, gray half orc grabs something out of his bag, and he's got like a little stake with a white string on it. And you see him just kind of tapping it into the wall and walking back, and just like, is this about halfway here? I think you need to split into thirds. But
excuse me.
Oh,
hello.
Hello.
I think we'll have to do some math here. Make sure we're geometrically even. Splitting into thirds is a little bit more complicated than a half, but I appreciate the idea. I'm Lissa, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Lissa. And he's like measuring back a little bit, eyeing the floor.
Just leave me a bed and some drawers. I'm good.
No, everyone gets their steak. This will be fair.
So what does Lissa look like anyway?
Oh no. Well, she's human. She's got some nice embroidery on her jacket and pants, and she has waist length hair, brown, And yeah, she's busily trying to organize her many boxes and bags, and her cat is sitting up on her bed.
Jack embarrassedly like removes a tag from his new
and now we'll cut over to the other dorm where we have Sean, Jonathan, and Andrew.
Hi, I'm Velma. I may have some impertinent questions for you, but don't take it personal. It's for class. Like, who are you and what brought you to Windshire? You mind if I take your picture? I got a Polaroid that I have to shake.
I immediately put my hand up in front of my face, and I'm like,
We don't have to do that. I'm Missouri. I'm here to learn, just like everyone else here. And I start like grabbing my truck and heading to the farthest bed away from the door.
So I walk in after this.
Yeah, because you're right. Yeah, you're right in there at the very 15 minutes before the tour is going to start.
I'm shaking the Polaroid still.
Hey, hi. I think this is supposed to be my room. It was a little bit unclear what was going on, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. My name is Lucar Stillshower. You can call me Luke. I'm new here. I'm sure we're all new here, right? Like that's the thing. Like we're all first year. I'm first year as well. I'm just happy to be here. You know, you guys doing sorcery school? Any magic stuff? Like I really cool. Looking forward to it. Anyone?
No, I'm pretty much here for the photojournalism. It's kind of my thing.
Cool. I dig it.
Cool.
Where are you guys from? I'm from Thrain, little town, Thaliost. You guys heard of it? Anyone?
I'm from the backwoods. I'm not. I don't. It's a place you would have never heard of. So no reason to let you know what my hometown is.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Hey, you know what? Both of you guys, yeah, like, I think I got something for you. And I going through my coat. I'm like, oh, yeah. Thelma, this sort of reminds me of you. We were on our way to the school. We stopped off near Danhaven, and this just came floating out of the sky. And I give you this bright green feather. I'm like, I don't know. It just sort of goes with you. I thought maybe the colors, the photojournalism, like maybe you could do something with this. And Missouri, is that right? Missouri?
It's Missouri, yeah.
Cool. Yep. Right. Yeah. In my like cargo pants pant pocket, which is like would be shorts for you guys because I'm a halfling. I pull out it's a bowl, and it's got a painting of a fingernail on it. And I'm like, hey, it seems like we're sort of scrunched quarters here, but maybe you could find something to put in this bowl, you know, for storage purposes. I think you'd like it. It's nice to have something, right? Like anyhow, I don't need a lot of room. Halfling, you can put me on the top bunk, whatever makes sense.
Nice.
Thanks. We'll figure something to store it, and we'll just and I like very carefully like take it and immediately just like set it down. Like, yeah, looks very pretty.
Right after you set it down, you hear a voice that just kind of, and a disembodied voice that just kind of comes into your room.
Uh-oh. Zoom filtered all of that.
That didn't work.
Yeah, we did hear.
Oh, sweet. Even better. Even better.
Is there an announcement?
Is there something? Like that was cool.
And then you hear
Right. The PA system is broken too.
you hear, sorry, let me try that again. Attention students, please leave your dorm rooms and gather outside the main dorm entrance. Please do not be late. It's a very, very tight time schedule. Chop chop.
I am around very confused.
I think we're supposed to go outside, Missouri. Come on, Thelma. Let's see who else we got out here.
Okay, give me just a second, and I like run over to where my trunk is, and I like slap the lock on it, make sure it's close tight, and then I join everyone.
So you walk out front, and then you see. So as you come out of your dorm room, the three of you, you see three characters come out of a dorm room right next to yours, and this would be the first time that all six of you are seeing each other.
Gogar just stands with Felissa and Jack. Like, who are these guys?
I think they're also first.
He's like real tiny, but he's like already bonding with them. Like,
I got a group shot of you three.
Nice.
I think
Alyssa throws on a quick smile when she sees the camera and like a little pose.
I think their first years like us, Skogar, just more students.
Did Sinbad talk to you too? Did it come into your room as well? Did you hear it?
The announcement?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're out here.
And it wasn't in everyone's head. It was like out here with your ears, right?
Yes, I think my cat heard it too. She like perked up. So yeah, I think it was outside our heads.
Yeah, definitely out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like a common thing here.
Do you often hear voices in your head?
Never, not once, never.
You see a few other students walking out the front door of the dorm building.
Jack, see that blonde kid over there? Watch out for him. He's the bully. Just saying. He's got the guy with the slick back blonde hair. Don't trust him. He's going to make fun of us. Guaranteed. Don't let him get to you, okay? Don't let him get to you, Skogar.
Was it the one with the popped up hood? The hood with the popped up top?
Yeah, the collars. You see those collars pop? That guy right there. Yeah.
Okay, I saw him.
Yeah. Keep your eye on him because that guy's going to be a real. I don't think I can already.
Are you judging someone by their looks? Excuse me. Sir.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that guy's probably the bully. Look, I'm just saying I don't know if you know this, but we're going to be the level of band of misfits in this school.
So you all walk out to the front. And you see two people standing in the courtyard area. Right here, and they're waiting for you to come out, and they kind of motion for you to like sort of gather around in a semicircle. So there's like 10 of you in total because it's.
I elbow Thelma next to me and whisper, "You would think with this small of a class we would have to share a room with two other people, huh?"
It's tight knit, I suppose. Just gonna.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get to know each other really well.
As a first time away from home, perhaps like the social atmosphere would be.
Right on, party on.
We lost you.
I'm just saying.
We lost you at the end there, but I think what you're saying is consider this like an extra class, right? The socialization, I think is what.
I think so. Yeah.
I guess there's more to learning than just what you get from books and classes. It's the school of life.
You see,
I think that's what their motto is. School of life is. I can't read Draconic. What is this? I don't even know.
You see one figure is very professionally dressed lizard folk. They have a flowing long overcoat with a white dress shirt on underneath and what appears to be a decorative sword on their hip. The other figure is a woman with black hair and a green scarf that is draped over her chest is on part of her head like a hood. And then they introduce themselves. All right, so this guy is the guy you see first, who starts talking to you. Hello, I am Dean Carter Branchbreaker. He takes a half bow. I run Windshire University. This school is an all-inclusive university with a focus on real-life, experience-based learning. He pauses. He says, what does this mean, you may ask? Well, I will tell you. Experience-based learning, or EBL, is a new form of teaching that we at Windshire are the pioneers of. It means you will spend some time in the classroom. You will also spend some time out in the field, taking short adventures to hone the skills that you are being taught. You will be happy to know that we have not had a death yet, and this is our 5th year. Although there have been a few injuries. Before he can finish, the woman begins to speak and interrupts him. Oh, yes, thank you, Dean, for your explanation of our revolutionary and unique teaching style. She looks at you all and waves at you. My name is Lara Rubigale, and I'm the HR manager here at Windshire University. I make sure everything in this school stays on the up and up, so to speak. I'm constantly brushing up on my law knowledge so that I may best protect the interests of the university as well as the lives of our student body. She slowly looks back and forth at all of you. I know that your parents have all signed the appropriate waivers for you to attend school here. And I have all of your other paperwork in order. So I'm proud to tell you all, welcome to Windshire University. You are all proud Windshire Wyverns now. Her and the dean applaud, and you hear a couple of cheers of a couple of students behind you. And then says, before we begin our tour, how about we do a round of introductions? I would love to meet you all. Steps forward and then sits comfortably on the ground, like just sits crisscross applesauce on the ground, like chilling. And then she's listening intently. Says, please tell me your name, your educational path, something about your family, and one thing you like to do for fun. It's that simple. And there are 4 other students that you see around here besides you. A slender elf steps forward and begins to speak. Says, hello, my name is Axford Delgrassi. I'm an elf of the House Thorani, and I am here to hone my skills in the bardic profession. He turns around and bows to you all. Some members of my family have disgraced my house and my family by resorting to a life of crime. I've come here to educate myself and then return to my house upon graduation as a stronger house agent that could potentially lead my family back to greatness within the house. I said house a lot, didn't I? I do that a lot. I just really care about my house. He looks down at the ground and looks up at you and says, I love to learn songs on my lute and rock out. It's like, oh, and then he looks at Lara and says, I thought this school was big. Are we seriously like the only first years here? She's like, no. There's another group of 10 of you. There's about 20 of you in total. It's decent size, actually. They had their orientation is going to be later. Is that okay? He goes back and huddles up into the group, and then she points at you, Azuri. Says, how about you, young man?
I immediately look behind me.
It's like, nope, it's you.
Beat me. Oh, hi. I'm Azuri. I'm here for the clerics track. The Be Strong Fighters. This is clerics. That's the one. And I have parents, and for fun, I like to meditate.
Oh, that sounds very relaxing. Maybe you'll have to teach some of the other students how they can do that if they need it. Then she points at Lucar. How about you?
Hi, I'm Lucar. I go by Luke. Is anyone else here a halfling, Bill?
No.
I'm a halfling, as you might guess, but like my family situation's sort of weird. Like I was adopted. I've actually never seen another halfling before in my life, so it's sort of weird being adopted. But it's cool. My parents really love me, and I'm here to like control this magic, like try to figure out how to use magic better, because it's sort of weird how it works. I don't quite understand it. What else did you want me to say? I can't remember.
What's your favorite thing that you like to do?
Oh, right. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what I like to do. And as I'm going through my vest, I pull out a drumstick and I start eating it. And I'm like, I'm not sure. Oh, I guess I like to eat a lot. And I'm eating the drumstick that I pulled out of my jacket.
Like a bird drumstick or like a drumstick?
No, like a bird. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like I look around.
Like a drumstick.
Yeah, I was confused there.
I look around to make sure that Jarvish and his familiar aren't around. And it's actually a goose drumstick I'm eating it.
You hear faintly in the background. It's like, that's great. Thank you. And then she looks over at somebody else. Okay, now how about you, metal one? You see a tall robotic like creature actually steps up before you guys and starts to speak. Hello, my name is Carl Merlot. I am a Warforged. Although I have no memory of it, my creator told me that I fought in the war and witnessed the morning. I've since been set free to explore and find myself and find purpose. I identify as male, although Warforged have no gender. My creator treated me as an equal, not as their war machine. One thing I like to do for fun is meditate and make herbal salves that aid in meditation. I spent time in solitude right after my creator reset me, and then through meditation decided that I needed to get an education. I wish not to be erased again. Thank you. He bows and goes back to the group. And he looks over at you, Azuri, and goes, maybe we can meditate together sometime.
Yeah, I like being alone with people if we just sit in silence the whole time. Yes.
Meditation provides me with heightened sense of hearing. So I will hear things coming from very far away.
Excellent. That's probably very useful. So
Good night. Say goodbye now.
Jealous.
Wave. Okay. Good night.
So she says, so Lara says, well, thank you, Carl. And how about you? And then, oh shit, wait, Lucar, let's retcon for a second. Yes, there is a halfling here. I completely forgot that this NPC was a halfling. So we can turn this into a moment. So you get an opportunity
Maybe he was standing behind the Warforged and he just sort of appeared.
So a small female halfling dressed in
romance.
Yes, dressed
if
in
goes that way.
Just because we're both the halflings doesn't mean we have to be hooked up. I can come up with other creatures.
A small female halfling dressed in overall sandals and an oversized shirt steps in front of the group. Hi, my name is Sybil. Sir Sable Chisholm. That's Chisholm. I'm a halfling that is from House Jarasco. We're a healing house, but I wish to take my life in a different path. I want to learn how to be a druid. I like trees. I like nature way more than man. No offense to you.
Yeah.
But I'm here on a full scholarship from the Urgent Care organization. But my parents, unfortunately, are not aware of my choices or of educational path. A fun thing I like to do is take nature walks. I can't wait to wander the forest. Maybe, and she looks over at you, Lucar, and she's like, maybe you like walks too. And then she just kind of puts her head down and goes back into the group real quick, like all kind of shy and embarrassed. And Lara says, thank you, Sable. Just know that we are here at the university, support your decisions, and we'll be happy to help explain that to your family. She looks over at you, Jack. What about you? Nice jacket, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You know,
that's our new line of sports swag.
Yeah, you know, it's basically like right out of the box, from my understanding. Yeah, like.
Pretty nice. So tell us about you.
Oh yeah, so I'm Jack. Just a regular guy trying to make it in this university here. I'm just kind of going like a more martial path. I wasn't sure if just like straight fighter or maybe ranger school would be kind of interesting. I also like walking through nature, and I wink at Sybil over there. I also like walking in nature, but I think probably my favorite thing to do is just people watching, just really observing what they're doing, how they act. Sometimes I'll just sit there quietly. I can just watch people go by and it's great. I love it. So you can learn a lot by just sitting there quietly and just watching people sometimes. And that's one of the things I love to do, but I also love interacting with people. I
find myself to be a very observant individual as well. And I find your candor to be very refreshing, Jack, and it's nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you there, Laura. I appreciate it. I'm glad you recognize.
And she points over at another character. How about you? And a slender male comes to the front. Sorrel Maronid.
Is this a blonde guy?
No. Sorrel Maronid. Hi. I want to be a healer. I need to heal myself. I need to heal others. I need to protect this world from what's coming. I need to try to stop what's coming. It's coming for me. It's coming for all of us. And he looks over at you, Azuri, and he's like he's almost like he's talking right to you. And he's like looking through you. I have no family, and I do not do things for fun. Everything is calculated. Everything has a reason. He points down at the ground and counts 53 great pebbles, 5 twigs, 121 ants, and goes back to the group. And Lara says, okay, Sorrel. Thank you for your share out. Let's talk after the tour. Maybe it'll help you in your fight. She looks at you, Lissa. How about you, dear?
Hello, I am Lissa.
You are quite a vision and quite lovely.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. You as well. I love your outfit.
Why, thank you.
So I'm Lissa Fernwillow, and I'm from House Vidalis. My family breeds horses, and might I say we make pretty good horses, or raise very good horses. But yeah, so let's see. Oh, I want to study mage breeding. My dad's not really into it, but neither is my mom.
Her eyes perk up. She's like, that is our most sought after concentration. Right?
Yes, I heard a lot of good things about it here.
I'm sure. I am sure that we can turn your father around. I'm sure we can.
Right.
We can get him to think differently.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, so for fun, I like to ride my horse through the wilderness. So yeah, Sable, anytime you want to go out in the woods, that'd be a great time.
Sable's like, gee, that sounds great. And then she kind of like slides up near you and like whispers. She's like, I don't know if I want that other guy to come. And she points at Jack. And then she goes back. You could do a perception check if you want to know if you heard her whisper or not.
Yes. Oh, Jack.
Yeah.
Let me roll that.
Because she went away from you for that.
I'm very observant of people, so I rolled a 20.
Yeah, so you hear her say that. Totally hear it. And then let's see. And then Lara looks at you, Velma. Says, "How about you, young lady?"
You see that Velma is a petite woman, half elven, obviously. She has dark hair for now, thick glasses, and that camera she keeps snapping away with. Hi, I'm Velma. My father was a journalist, and I guess I'm here to follow in his tracks. What I do for fun is, well, it's not nature photography. People think I'm nosy. I've been called a meddling kid more than once. But my primary motivation is just to find the truth.
So, would you consider yourself to be more interested maybe in a forensic investigator kind of path, or a private investigator, or like investigating of crimes, like what journalism, like what's
well, crime is nebulous, and those who are with their fingers most dirty generally are the ones who are furthest from the scene. I'm just I just want to find out what who's pulling the strings. I guess investigative journalism. I remember the famous water dam investigations from decades ago, before the morning, something like that. You know, the stuff that gets people on your tail and your life in danger. That's how you know you're doing a good job.
You know, I think I need to introduce you to the Windshire University weekly staff. I think you'd fit in wonderfully with their team of investigative reporters. And she looks over at you, Skogar. Says,
Is that out of game? Did they put together that newsletter, which was very good, by the way?
Thank you. Yeah, that's from the university. Yes, it's a newspaper that Windshire actually reads. So it's because it's such a good newspaper that it's actually become Windshire's newspaper, not just the school.
Paper of record. I'd like that.
She looks at you, Skogar, and last but most certainly not least, how about you?
Skogar steps forward. You see that he's a taller, gray half-orc. His body looks kind of very scarred over in a peculiar fashion. He's dressed in pretty simple clothes, but very tight and neat. And he says, "Well, I'm Skogar from House Thrash, out in the salt marsh or the Shadow Marshes. I come from a family of simple miners and nothing else. I'm here to educate myself on geological matters, maps, surveying, and most importantly, tracking things across the land."
That sounds great. And what do you like to do for fun?
Maps and tracking things up on the land.
Well, nice to meet you.
He looks around, as people laugh, he looks around like real confused.
Thank you all for taking the time to introduce yourselves. You're one of two groups of this year's first-year students. The group this year was somewhat small, but we've just started getting back to promoting our curriculum again. So on that note, let's take a walk around our glorious campus. And then as you leave the front of this building, she says, this building here is your dorm for first year. In addition to being a first-year dorm, it's also the main location of the cafe, where you can sit and eat all of your meals, as well as a library. The bookstore, souvenir shop, and barns are outside of the front of the protective walls of the university. And we also have the two large watchtowers that are fully guarded. They watch over the school as well as the homes of our esteemed faculty. Let's start here. She stops in front of building number 10. This is the School of Martial Disciplines. Whether you choose to be a fighter, monk, paladin, or ranger, this is where you will study starting in year 2. We even have our own sensei here as well. She walks further ahead. Here is our healing school. We have all the divine domains here as well. She looks at Sorrel and says, "This would be your school, Sorrel. Here's where you can gain the skills to aid you in your fight." And Sorrel looks up and says, "Yes, exactly what I need. Thank you. I'll do everything I can to make sure that your life is spared when the next war comes." He gets quiet. And then Lara and Dean Carter approach the next school, and the dean speaks. "Ah, yes," says the dean. "Here's the Thieves Co-op." He points at the building. "The school operates separately outside of Windshire University. In order to continue getting donations from our stakeholders, we have had to keep this school apart from the rest of the campus." He clasps his hands together and says, Our main platform is our level of inclusivity. So we decided as a group to include thieves into our university, but in such a way that removed liability from us. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, great. And he says, it's really quite a wonderful story of how this co-op came about, as my very, very younger brother helped me put this concept together, and he's now the captain of a ship. It's rather fantastic, actually. I haven't seen him in quite some time. Let's see. Okay, and then Lara steps in. Moving on. Here's our School of Magic. Unlike some other universities, we focus on all types of magic: sorcerer, warlock, and wizard. We have a fine group of doctors and professors that can teach you how to hone your spellcasting ability in order to make a name for yourself. And then the dean cuts her off. Oh, yes, this school is what I'm most proud of. This is our artificer school, a very underrepresented class. We view the artificer to be quite important. Many graduate. Many graduate and become investors, creating new technologies that our world depends on. He says again, are there any questions?
Yeah, I noticed a couple of the other people said that they had scholarships. Is that something I can get to? This isn't the right time. Okay, I'll talk to
you. I'm sure that you could look for that assistance in our administrative building.
Yeah. And okay, which one's that?
It's as you walk in, you'll see the signs.
Thank you.
And then Lara points at the next building. So here's our Bard School. We have worked hard to make this building quite soundproof as to not distract students of other schools as they work on their studies. 2 of our teaching assistants are famous traveling musicians that we are so lucky to have. Next, we have our Druid School, she says, smiling. This is where nurture meets nature, as we teach our students the finer druidic arts. And the dean walks up to the last building, which looks a little more run down compared to the other ones, a little bit beat up. He says, yes, this is the most unique and my most favorite of all the schools here. This is the Barbarian School, where true warriors train and hone their skills that they can then take into the military or private sectors. I started as a barbarian when I was traveling Eberron, but I knew that it was not the long-term plan for me, so I became a ranger. And then he turns around and looks at all of you. So these are our schools, and all in one area of the university, each one their own dedicated building, where you can focus on honing those skills and working with your peers as well. On the other side of the university are the school-specific dorms we will move into in year 2 of your education. There'll be plenty of time for you to explore those spaces. And Lara says, well, that was our tour to give you a better lay of the land so it doesn't feel so foreign and scary. You all still have many hours left in the evening. The cafe is still open. The library is open for a couple more hours. And you can explore any of the schools as well as the bookstore or the souvenir shop. She gives you all a hand wave. We're off. Please get settled in, have fun, and welcome to Windshire U. And as you walk off...
Go Wyverns! Oh, whoops, I thought we were supposed to cheer. Sorry.
And she's like, yes, go, Wyverns. Make everybody make a perception. Well, what are you guys' passive perceptions? Put it that way.
15 is my passive perception. 15.
Okay. Anyone, is there anybody below 15. a 13 on their passive perception?
Skilgar would be below 15.
Yeah, I think I would be too.
I think so.
I forget passive.
Right.
10 plus proficiency plus your perception modifier.
Wisdom. So below 13. So I'm at 13.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Then I would be at 13. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm at 11.
I'm at
Chris, you're muted if you're talking.
I was just clarifying the perception rules.
Okay.
It's just your perception modifier plus 10.
Oh, then I'm
also not
less than
proficiency.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, like whatever. Like if you have a perception of 2, it'd be 12.
Okay.
Or I guess. Yeah, because if you don't have perception as a skill, it's just your wisdom bonus.
Okay, so the people that have a 13 or higher hear the following interaction between the dean and Laura. Well, Laura, my dear, these seem like a bunch of good kids, strong candidates, don't you think? Laura says, it may be too soon to tell. Remind me, what did I tell you about calling me dear? And Dean says, don't do it. She said, yes, that was it. Have a good night, Dean. And then they're both gone. So you have the option of interacting with each other or the NPCs, or going to check out a building or a place, or make your way to retire, and we'll do the introduction to the first adventure. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
I think
someone mentioned eating.
Would you like to go? You'd like to go to the cafe? Was that what I'm hearing?
I'm more than willing to bring a group with me, and we can talk about our day so far over maybe some brews of some sort and some food of some sort.
That sounds great, Luke. Sounds great. I will sidle up to Velma though. I'll say, like, did you hear what they talked about candidates? The two of them at the end there, they were talking there. The dean and his assistant.
Yeah, I heard. What I heard was, don't call me dear. Do you think that's his daughter? She's certainly young enough to be his daughter.
Maybe, or maybe she's one of those feminists that just doesn't like being called dear. But yeah, either or, I mean, it could be daughter. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't want to bring out nepotism. I guess what I'm saying is, you, the investigative reporter, right? Candidates is Laura Dean Carter's daughter. I mean, sounds like it's right up your alley, Velma.
Well, I was interested in what some of the other students had to say too.
Keep going. I'll be back in 1 second.
Sorrel seems to think that there's that winter is coming.
Yeah, he's got a weird intensity about him. I'm not sure if I want to match drinks with him. I feel bad for that Warforged show. Man, imagine just being erased like that. It's the way we treat these Warforged. I don't know.
To not have a past.
Yeah, it just seems very, I don't know, like there's whole ethical ramifications of artificial intelligence, I guess. And I guess, I guess I'm the first year doesn't really have to worry about yet, but, I'm just putting it out there.
The technical stuff is a bit beyond me.
As you finish talking about Warforged and talking about artificial intelligence, you hear a voice behind you say, I must inform you, I am actually very quite real.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I didn't mean I didn't say like you're like fake or anything. I just meant like, it's kind of strange, like you were created in a sense that like you're built. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird, like, listen, I'm not going to treat you any differently. What'd you say your name was? Run it by me again.
My name is Carl Merlot.
Carl, I thought that, I was going to say Carl. I don't know why I didn't just say Carl. Carl, I want you to know, I hope you don't get erased again. And I hope you find yourself.
If anything, I would actually like to remember what was erased from last time, but I don't know how to make that happen.
Carl, maybe that's something we can figure out together.
That's right. I'm gonna give an elbow to. Got to look back through the Jack. I'm gonna elbow Jack when he says he wants to remember what his past was. So yeah, maybe we can look into that.
So many breadcrumbs
together.
So you guys you're all chatting it up as you go to the cafe, and you walk in. You see that it's open for about another hour, and you look at this wonderful menu here.
Nice.
That's posted.
Wow.
That's posted on a big sign as you walk in. So we
don't have some sort of meal plan. We got to pay for each one of these meals. This is going to be a long semester.
No, this is what it costs on your meal plan.
Mhm.
So if you have a meal plan, then it is covered. It's like you got X amount of allowance in your meal plan. But I mean, this is all silver pieces, So what is it? How many silver pieces equal a gold? Is it 10 or 100? 10?
10.
Okay. Then maybe this is higher price than it needs to be.
I think those need to be copper.
Yeah, probably. They got, a nice, got a couple different kinds of salads, some nice paninis. You see a lot of people in there eating pizza. A lot of people eating pizza. But there is no alcohol. However, they do offer regular milk and non-dairy milk for those with allergies. And you look and see the cafe is set up where it's like there's a couple different stations you can walk up to, get your food, and then there's one place to check to pay for your food or check your meal plan, and then you can grab something to drink, and there's plenty of just random tables and stuff to sit down at.
Jack definitely orders the pizza for himself with a sparkling water.
Nice. Yeah. So what do you other guys get? What do the other characters get to eat, just to understand what people's preferences are?
I'm going to get both a salad and a pizza. Figure it balances out, keep the weight off.
One negates the other.
Yep.
Fair.
Exactly.
Fair.
Lissa asks Sable if she wants to split a pizza with her.
Sable was the halfling, right?
Yeah. All the meats.
She's like,
yeah.
She's like, yeah, yeah.
Are you a vegetarian or do you like
meat? No, I like meat. It's fine. Right. I'm not super hungry, but I'll have a slice.
All right, perfect.
That sounds like
Me
fun.
neither. Yeah.
You guys seem cool.
Skogar leans over and goes, well, I thought she wouldn't like the meat because she's a druid. Just says very bluntly.
And Alyssa's like, oh my goodness, I completely forgot. I'm so sorry.
I'm not that kind of druid.
It's all nature. It's a circle of life.
I'm not even sure if I can transform into an animal just yet. It's more about the trees, the flowers.
Ah, nice.
That's what I care about.
So then you wouldn't want to eat the veggies because those are like the plants.
Yeah, I'd probably rather avoid that, actually. I don't feel right. Doesn't feel, yeah. What's that the all meat diet or whatever that's called?
Oh, jeez.
People just eat meat and nothing else.
Right.
She's kind of
half pork diet.
She's kind of in that camp.
Pork.
And what would Azuri be eating?
Azuri's definitely getting the arugula salad, and it's just like he's not even going at it with a fork. He's just like picking at it with his fingers here while he's like sort of off in a corner by himself, just picking away at the salad, kind of looking around, trying to like scope out everyone here.
Great. And Velma, what would you
would be doing the all veggie pizza. It says college, it's got to be pizza. The pack of 20 ramens is back at the dorm though, so that would be the day-to-day fare.
Sable's like,
this is splurging.
And she kind of sits like in hiding like behind you, Lissa, and she's like, oh. She's just like kind of like not really eating a piece of pizza, just kind of like, oh.
No.
And she's like, and then she eats a bite and she's like, oh, that's pretty good. And she's like trying to breathe and calm herself down. As she glances out of the corner of her eyes, seeing Velma eating veggies, and then looking and seeing Azuri eating a salad. She's like, oh
no!
And then she like puts down half her slice. So I gotta go. She just leaves and walks briskly away.
Later. Judgment-free zone.
If you're not going to eat that, can I have some?
It's fine. Go ahead. And she takes off. And Carl comes up with a tray with a panini sandwich on it, and it's like can I join?
Of course.
I am not actually eating my pizza. I'm just holding it like in front of my face, and I'm watching because I'm now fascinated at how does a Warforged eat. And I just forgot to finish stuffing the pizza in my own mouth.
So he sits down and he just starts going to the food and breaking it up, and it's just falling into the back of his head. Style. Yeah. He's like, it's like these tomatoes are very fresh. And then he's eating the chips are even they're super crunchy because his metal jaws are clanging together and you're hearing the crunching of chips with it. So it's super loud. And he's like, so Jack, when does Blazeball practice start?
Oh, Blazeball is more of it's a summer sport, like a spring. So it's this being the beginning of the year, I think Blazeball starts mostly in then. But I think there might be a winter league. I haven't really, I got to talk to the coach, figure that out.
Perhaps indoor, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Why are you thinking about joining the team?
I think I would make quite the tank.
Absolutely. I don't want to say it, but I don't want to offend you or anything. But yeah, you totally got the build for it. Like
liquid tank, hard to move.
Sure.
And so he just finishes the sandwich. Like, thank you for quality association time with you all. Good night. And he just leaves with his tray and dumps his scraps off and everything, and leaves the cafe. So more people start trickling out, and it ends up where it's just the six of you guys kind of closing the place up. You see some of the students, you see other younger folks like yourself working behind the counter, probably on work study or something, and they're closing up shop for the night, and then they're like, all right, we're closing up in about 5 minutes. So yeah, if you guys are done hanging, maybe you could hang out, talk back at your dorm so we can get out of here. It's been a long day.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you guys, the faster we go, the faster you go, right? Come on, let's help these guys clean up and so they can get out of here. I start to gather our group and try to clean off the table we were at to help out the people behind. Because it's not just about us. We got to be respectful to everybody.
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. And I clean up my tray, and
sure.
And then I'm, and basically that's it. And I'm heading to the door, I'll be back at the room, I guess.
So what are we going to do now? Are we going to go to Denny's?
I don't know. It's got to be a meal plan. I like to eat, but I don't know if I can afford stuff outside of the school. So did I hear mention of some ramen back at the dorm?
Jesus.
Well, maybe I can get
last me all week.
Oh.
My Lord, that's a lot of eating. That's awesome. So you all head back to the dorm, and you get settled in. You are officially all moved into Windshire University, and you have met your most immediate, presumably companions, but have yet to see how that turns out.
Hey, I missed.
More of these people are red shirts.
Yeah, I missed one of the. I missed one of the people, Bill. There's Sorrel, who's a healer, Sable, who's the halfling druid, Carl, who's the war forged, and then there's an elf. Who is the elf?
Axford.
Axford Delgrassi.
Did he have anything else besides being an elf that would make me remember him?
He's House Thorani, and he's a bard.
Got it. Thank you. Sorry, I missed that one.
No, you're fine.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
All good. Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you something that I want you to listen to, but I want you to listen to it so like that nobody else, including Emily, can hear it. I'm going to email it to you. So however,
Sending it on Discord?
No, your email, your Gmail. Okay. Same place I sent the newsletter to.
Fine, I may have to go get headphones.
You're too far. I can't hear you.
I'll just stand up then.
Well,
as we're sitting in the room there, Skogar says to Lissa and Jack, "Hey, those guys in the other room over there, like, you think we could beat them up? Like, no, I mean, like, if we were in a fight."
Why? Oh, okay, like theoretically. Okay.
No, I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We would crush them.
We're bigger than them, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They seem soft.
Yeah,
totally
definitely.
Soft.
I think we're tough. We all seem tough.
The one was twitchy, the other one was a halfling, and the third one was
behind the camera.
Snapping pictures. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. We could take them all.
Yeah, we'll talk more about this later.
So
meanwhile, I just say to the two people in my room, "Hey, do you think those guys would probably beat us up, right?" Like in that other room.
So all of you,
we should hang out with them. So if there's another third room that would want to beat us up, maybe that other room would help us beat the other.
So all of you are getting in bed, getting settled in, all excited, and you all start to doze off. You have Azuri, Lucar, and Velma. All of you are dozing off, and so is Skogar, Lissa, and Jack. Did you get it, Jonathan?
I got it, and I listened to it.
Okay.
Secrets.
I've got a question for you later, but it might be private.
You can put it in the chat just to me if you want, and ask me.
Secrets.
Like, I would probably take Luke first.
Yeah, and in the other, and in the room with, in the room, yeah, this is great. So in the room that Azuri, Lucar, and Velma are all sleeping, but in the room with Skogar, Alyssa, and Jack, listen, Jack, you're trying to go to sleep, and Skogar just keeps talking about London, like how he could beat people up and all this stuff.
What about the Warforged? Could you take that Warforged, Skogar?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, I don't know what a tackle is. What'd you say it was in baseball? A guard?
Tank. He said tank. Yeah.
Like, what says he's a better tank?
He says he can't. He wouldn't be able to be taken down. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think we have a friendly game of Blaseball going. We get the news. Get all the first years together. We just do a healthy game. On a weekend.
We're gonna have to figure this out. Yeah, one way or another.
How many people on a team in Blaseball?
Well, not him. Once I'm the tank, and he's not even going to play.
Can we use magic?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go over the rules some other time. There's so much to get into. Well,
right.
I mean,
yeah, we are trying to go to sleep. Yeah,
we'll try to keep it simple. But, we don't want to be get down to the nitty gritty of the rules. But they're hit the ball, blaze the ball. There's things to do, of course. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really, we got school tomorrow. Apparently we'll probably start on a mission soon.
Yeah, I can read.
Oh, that's great, Skogar. That's really good. That's good to hear.
I think we're going to be doing a lot of that.
Okay.
I hope not.
It's there's probably books and such.
So you guys start to doze off, and Lucar, you're snoring a little bit. You're well fed, so you're knocked out. Same with Velma and Azuri. Everything's quiet.
And then after some undetermined amount of time, you hear me screaming as I wake up and just go, ah! Where are they?
Whoa! Wait,
Oh, what was that?
what, Zuri, what? Is this your first time away from home? What's going on?
No, just take the hood off.
The hood off. I wander over to Azuri's bed. You were off in the corner, so I sort of look around, whatever barrier you had set up. Do I see a hood on Azuri's head?
No, you do not.
Zuri, what are you talking about having a hood on your head? You're fine. You must have been having a nightmare or something.
No, it's impossible.
Hold on, wait a minute. I think I got something for you. And I pull out like a little tiny like stuffed animal. I'm like, maybe you need like a wubby, a wubby or something. I know it's hard. I spent a couple days away from home, and it was rough for me too. We won't talk about the how the bed mattress was when I woke up, but like this might make you feel better.
It was just. But did you see them at all?
See what? We were sleeping as you woke us up. Velma, did you see anything?
I saw nothing, and it literally, it's like I dropped out.
You were sleeping hard, Velma. I don't know what's going on. Azuri had this weird ass dream. What's going on, buddy?
There were hooded figures over me, and they that's all. You're sure you didn't see anyone come in here, right?
I mean, I was asleep, so I didn't see anybody. But like when you screamed, I woke up and there was nobody in here. Like, look, and I cast light so that the whole room brightens up, and I'm like, I don't see anybody in here. Do you?
You didn't need to do that. I'm fine.
All right. So right then, so that's a perfect point. So we cut there, and then we're gonna fast forward. And so after move-in weekend, you've attended all your first week of classes. You settle into your schedule and routine. It's the end of your first week. You are sitting in your general elective class, Wilderness and Survival 101. Your professor, Dr. Balchia Pinefeather, stands at the front of the class. Dr. Pinefeather is a fit and slender red-headed woman. Her face is painted with a tribal design. She has a short sword strapped to her side and dressy leather armor with a large fur collar. She goes up to the board and writes her name on a blackboard. The letters have a rune-like flair to them. She turns around and glances at you all with a razor-sharp look in her eye. Says, "Well, hello, class." She nods her head slightly upwards. "My name is Dr. Balchia Pinefeather. I will be your instructor for Wilderness and Survival. I cannot wait to teach you the ways of survival in the post-morning land of Ondare." And then she takes a slender hand and pushes hair out of her face. And Lissa and Jack, why don't you make charisma saves for me, please?
All right. That is a 14.
Oh,
for
shit.
Lissa.
That is a 5.
Jack. So Lissa, you're like, ooh. You like when she brushed her hair out of her face, it kind of made you actually a little flustered for a second. And Jack, when she does it, you're just instantly like enamored and interested in everything she has to say.
Didn't need to make a charisma save for that.
And
I mean, can Skogar voluntarily fit?
And then right, and then she says, "Imagine, if you will, going deep into a forest you've never been in and having the skill sets to navigate this unfamiliar landscape and survive and even thrive in it." And then she says, This class will teach you to survive and thrive.
I do a slow blink at her, and it says "Love you" across my eyelids, like Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
I write in my notebook, survive and thrive, and I'm like, I wish all my teachers used rhyming. Like that's going to be easy to remember.
And then she pulls down a map in front of in front of you guys, and then she begins to describes the country of Onder and starts to tell you about, shows you where you are and where Windshire is and Fairhaven, the capital, and just sort of kind of lays out the talks about the Eldritch Groves and then she says, many unique creatures live within our many forests here in Onder. Many wooded areas are completely safe, but are simply wonderful for nature walks and such. She looks at Sable. Sable smiles really big and says, is there any particular forest you'd recommend, Professor? I could use a good walk. Well, Sable, there are many places you can go. I'd recommend the Duskwood, just south of us. There are many wonderful sights to see. If you see a bullywug, be sure to stay your distance. They're definitely not safe to be around. The woods themselves are also said to be haunted, so I recommend leaving just before dusk to be safe. Travelers have spotted some corporeal forms in the woods on their travels, and they ran off in time. There are a couple of travelers that did not make it out, unfortunately. And then as she says that, she sounds really sad. In the Eldritch Groves, there are some ruins. You're going to want to avoid those ruins. There's many unsavory creatures there, and you young students are in no position to face them at this time. You just started your first year, after all. Yeah. To the farthest north is the Greywood. It is typically quite chilly in those woods and also devoid of most colors that you would normally see in the forest. However, it is home to some wonderful foraging of mushrooms and wild-growing garlic, which is used in many regional dishes at places like the Windy Oaks Inn in Windshire. Their food is to die for. Her hand travels a map and stops on Whisper Woods. Here's where the whispers of the dead can be heard at night in Whisper Woods. I cannot stress it enough that you want to avoid Whisper Woods in its entirety. It is far too unsafe for inexperienced students like yourself. Do you all understand?
Stay away from Whisper Wood. Got it.
I hear you.
Okay,
Loud
great.
and clear.
Why, thank you. Thank you, Jack.
I dropped my pencil.
Then she walks back to the room, comes back up to the front, taking something out of her bag, and she holds up, okay, class, this is a dried tentacle from a corpse flower. And she holds it in both hands and shows it to you. This was found about a month ago on the outskirts of the Chanthwood. The corpse flower is a creature that looks like this. She pulls out a small poster and unveils it to you.
Whoa.
It says, this is a corpse flower.
That dude looks gnarly. That guy's getting eaten. That is, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And then it's rumored that they can sprout atop the grave of an evil necromancer. It then grows into an enormous size and will separate itself from the grave and roam the countryside, scavenging humanoid corpses from battlefields and graveyards. And then she hands you the tentacle. Please take a closer look and pass it around.
Thank you. And I almost like drop it as she hands it to me. And whoa, and I pass it around after taking a good look at it. Is this thing venomous or poisonous in any ways?
Oh, well, I'll get this one. No, it's not. I wouldn't let you touch it if it was.
No, I just meant the creature. I didn't mean like this particular one. I trust you.
Okay.
I trust you implicitly.
Well, I appreciate that. And she like her eye, like there's like a gleam in her eye, and she just slowly like pushes her hair out of the way of one of her eyes.
I drop my pencil again.
as she just says, please pass it around.
And I just kind of like, I just hand it back without even looking.
Everybody make a quick intelligence save.
Well, I failed.
Yeah, I'm super low.
17.
Okay.
That's much better. 24.
Missouri.
19.
9.
Nice.
Velma.
19.
Anybody below 11 is incredibly freaked out by this tentacle.
I mean, I didn't have to roll for that to happen. I could
incredibly
have told you I'd have been freaked out.
incredibly
based on
freaked
the
out.
picture you
Fair.
showed me.
That's fair. So then she says, so this weekend we will be traveling to the Duskwood. It is in the Duskwood that we will be searching for any potential corpse flower seedlings that were left behind by that creature that you are holding in your hands right now. There are some third year students that are on the hunt for the corpse flower. So our job will be to clear the woods of any seedlings. And she looks at you all and smiles. This will be a great first adventure for you first years. And that's where we're going to stop for today.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Thank you. That's fun.
Welcome to Windshire, and we will. I don't have to travel next week, so we will pick it up back again next Wednesday.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.